Paul Brodie, and thank you for joining us for another episode of the Get Published podcast, where we help authors get published with a proven system that works. Today, we are being joined by Claire Gem, author of Civil Hearts, the latest in her Haunted Voices series. Claire is the author of 6 novels, 5 of which have won or made the finals in some major competitions, including the New York Book Festival. Claire, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
You ready to get started?
I am.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. What is the one piece of advice that you would give to a first-time author who is currently writing their book?
Oh, well, and I wish somebody had told me this when I first started out, but before you write one single word on your novel, you need to read about 100 books in your favorite genre, or whatever genre you want to write. You can't write, first of all, you can't write what you don't love. So there's no wet. And read what you love. Write what you love. Passion comes through to the reader. The best way to learn is not by imitation, by emulation. So don't discount the value also of absorbing from different forms of media, film, ebook, print, audiobook. Each format touches a different part of your creative brain. I highly recommend watching, reading, and listening. That's the only way you will find your own true voice. I am a big fan of audiobooks and have learned so much spending that commute time listening to audiobooks, even books that I've read, because I learned something by listening that I didn't learn by reading.
Excellent. And what do you feel is the hardest part about getting published?
Getting published. No. Yeah, that's the big thing. No. Actually, what I found the hardest part was deciding how and why you want to do it. Do you want to? We have a lot of options nowadays. We have self-publishing. We have being published by the Big Five. We have tons of small publishers out there. Do you want the fame of being published with one of the big New York Five? That's great. Be prepared for a long, hard road. Realize that you have a very small chance of being discovered in this day and age. From what I've learned, talking to many authors who have been published this way, even if it does happen, it's not always the yellow brick road they thought it would be. I wanted to be published, but I wanted the books to be done my way. I actually bought back the rights to one book because the publisher put it out there with a gag-worthy cover without my knowledge, and then refused to change the cover unless I bought them out. I said, where do I send the check? Making $16 million a year is great, which some, Big Five publishers make. That's my ultimate. I have a mock-up check for a $16 million advance in my wallet, pinned to my billboard. I see it every day. But I will not do it by sacrificing the quality of my art. Writing is an art, a very personal one. To compromise on any aspect of it other than, obviously, grammatical quality would be to strangle my muse. So I say the hardest part is decide how and why you want to do it, and then just proceed from there.
Excellent. Well, please share a marketing strategy that you have used in your book launch that worked well.
Okay, well, I found this out kind of the hard way. I say choose to launch your book in the location where the book is set. Now, of course, if you live in Iowa and your book is set in Rome, this may not be the easiest thing to do. But my first Haunted Voices novel, Hearts Unlocked, is set in a teensy tiny little town in upstate New York called Loch Sheldrake. But there is a notable urban legend about the small, deep lake in that town. I capitalized on that legend. I set up a book signing in the local museum there, an ancient building. I mean, ancient, we're talking, it smells like milk, with some very creepy exhibits about local history that's only open 2 days a week. When I first arrived for the signing, I thought, oh my, this is going to be a very lonely 2 hours. It turned out to be my biggest event, so far anyway. I sold out of books, had such a big crowd for my reading, they had to open the auditorium and made the local and regional newspapers. Never underestimate the value of local enthusiasm.
That is a great tactic. Thank you for sharing that. Let's talk about your favorite book. So what is your favorite book, and what was the number one thing that you learned from it?
Okay, well, my number one favorite book is actually a series. It's a series of 3. It's called the Boonesboro Trilogy, and it's by Nora Roberts, who is my idol. She writes all sorts of romance and related types of genres. But these books I idolize. I have either read or listened to them at least 3 times each. To me, they epitomize the combination of contemporary romance, small town living, local history, and a ghost story. And that's what I try to write. My genre, if you can classify it, is a hybrid: contemporary romance, gothic fiction, and romantic suspense. My stories have a relationship developing, as well as either a ghost or a haunting or a psychic in the mix, some supernatural element. There are a few authors. Simone St. James is one. Heather Graham has a series very similar to what I'm writing. I also straddle the fence between genre fiction and literary. It's tough getting representation for that, I'm finding out, which is okay. I don't mind self-publishing. After all, that's how 50 Shades of Grey got discovered.
Yep.
But Nora Roberts is, she's my idol, and the Boonesboro Trilogy, I have 3 hardback copies on my nightstand that I go to sleep next to every day.
Well, and I already have a feeling I know the answer to this one, but what is your favorite quote and why?
Okay, Nora Roberts said, if you don't go after what you want, you'll have it. If you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you don't step forward, you're always in the same place. Why? This is my favorite quote because I truly believe that writing and getting published and making a life as an author is all about effort, courage, perseverance, and showing up every day, even if it isn't convenient, even if it doesn't feel good. You can't edit a blank page. So even if I get up at 4 a.m. and write 500 words that I consider are total crap, at least somewhere down the road, I can edit 500. A blank page, I can't go anywhere with that. So this to me is encouragement, and it is inspiration for me, and this is what keeps me going.
Excellent, Claire. Well, I want to thank you for being a guest on the show. And what is the best way for people to find you online?
Okay, well, I have my website, which is easy enough, www.clairejen.com. My Amazon author page is also kind of easy to remember. It's www.romance. I'm also on Facebook at clairejem.author. And on Twitter, my username is @gemwriter. So I'd love to hear from all of your listeners, and I'd love to connect with people who want to read the kind of fiction that I write.
Excellent. Well, again, thank you for being a guest on our show, and I wish you all the best in your author journey ahead.
Thank you so much, Paul. I'm honored. I'm really honored to have been a guest here on your show.
Thanks again for joining us today. To learn more about how to get your book published with a proven system that works, grab a free copy of my book at getpublishedpodcast.com.